Hello, after the weekend break, I'm back of this morning with your program Good Morning Sierra Leone, the program that always starts your day with news, views, comments, and analysis on some of the things that are happening around you. Coming up in this edition of the program Good Morning Sierra Leone, President Anes Bai Kuruma returns home after a week-long private visit to Hamburg, Germany. The president of Women's Forum, Maud Peacock, returns to Freetown after attending the 25th AU Summit in South Africa. The Constitutional Review Committee continues nationwide consultations, and of the United Artists for Sierra Leone to give facelift to the Kisii Psychiatric Hospital. All of these and more lined up in this edition of the program Good Morning Sierra Leone. Well, if you want to be part of the program, you can send your text to the number 077 44478. The number again is 077 44478. The program you're watching is Good Morning Sierra Leone, and I'm Sheku Smaila. But as you know, we are in the month of Ramadan, and our Muslim brothers and sisters are fasting. So I say Assalamu alaikum to our Muslim brothers and sisters, which is why I'm going to just give them this music done for us by Mahazen, soundtrack titled Thank You Allah.
So far from you, yet to me you were always so close. I wandered lost in the dark. I closed my eyes to all the signs you put in my way. I walked every day further and further away from you. Ooh, Allah, you brought me home. I thank you with every breath I take. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. All praises to Allah, all praises to Allah. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. All praises to Allah, all praises to Allah. I never thought about all the things you have given to me. I never thanked you once. I was too proud to see the truth and prostrate to you until I took the first step, and that's when you opened the doors for me. Now, Allah, I realize what I was missing by being far from you. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. All praises to Allah, all praises to Allah.
Thank you, Allah, done for us by Mahazin. As we are in the month of Ramadan, Assalamu alaikum once again to our Muslim brothers and sisters. Well, we continue with the program. President Ernest Bai Koroma has returned home after a week-long private visit to Hamburg, Germany. On his arrival at the country's international airport at Lungi, the first gentleman of the nation was received by the Vice President Victor Bokari Fo, the First Lady Sianyama Koroma, and senior government officials. Let's bring you the highlights.
For this is the day which the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. We tell you thank you for where you take with Papa, with President, with everything to South Africa for the AU. You carry and go back to Germany. You bring them back to be alive in time and not in eternity. Lord, we give you all the thanks. We give you all the praise. We give you all the glory. We thank you for traveling masses. We thank you for protection. We thank you for direction. We thank you for wisdom. We thank you for every head bowed down Naya. We thank you for the Vice President who go meet at Naya Port, the ministers of government, all the people there, every Australian, and their wives and spouses. We give you thanks. We give you all the praise. Lord, we just say thank you, God, for you are an awesome God. You are a mighty God. You are the great I am that I am. We thank you for Sierra Leone, and we ask you for continue for watch over Sierra Leone. Let your peace prevail in our homes. Let your peace prevail in the country. Let the peace prevail in our hearts. We thank you for you are a great God. You are a mighty God. You are an awesome God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Last one, I will tell you thank you. The nation tell you thank you for giving a president like this. For giving a husband like this. For giving a daddy like this. For giving an uncle like this. You don't send and go. You don't send and come. They do government work. They do work. You don't go get a clean bill of health. Let God get a long life. Let you get sustained peace in your life. Oh, Papa God control them. Papa God direct them. Papa God open for them. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم توب علينا يا مولانا أنت التواب الرحيم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون السلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين جاء فاتحة جارا أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Well, the arrival of the President, Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma, at the Lungi International Airport yesterday after a week-long private visit to Hamburg, Germany. Well, that was what happened yesterday at the country's international airport. The program you're watching is Good Morning Sierra Leone, reaching you live from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. We'll now go over to the Constitutional Review Committee, which was set up to review the country's 1991 constitution by way of amending certain sections and clauses, and even input new ideas that will move the country forward in line with global dynamics. Various subcommittees are currently on a nationwide consultations to get citizens' views on how they want the reviewed constitution to be. Well, to talk more about the current nationwide consultations, I have in the studios Jibril Tula, a member of the Legislative Subcommittee of the Constitutional Review Committee. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Sheku.
Now, Mr. Tula, one of the reasons why you are moving across the country, consulting Sierra Leoneans is for them to make input into the constitution that is being reviewed.
Sure.
And tell us how the consultations are going so far.
Well, it was a mandate given to the Constitutional Review Committee by the President in June 2013 that the 1991 Constitution needs a thorough review as a result of the recommendations of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission that was established by the then President, asking for a review of the 1991 Constitution to avert the causes of conflict in this country. So when Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma assumed the mantle of leadership, he decided to go back and look at the recommendations of that TRC committee, for which Tijan Kaba had laid the foundation for the review of this constitution. So in June 2013, the President decided to launch this CRC under the chairmanship of Justice Kawan, and various subcommittees were also established as a result of trying to look at some of the pitfalls in the Constitution. We have the Legislative Committee, where I belong, of which Tola Thompson is the chairman of that committee. I also have the Executive, the Judiciary Committee, so many. We have about 8 subcommittees there. And the President told us categorically that it has to be a liberal constitution this time round, where the citizens must have their own input in terms of designing the constitution, instead of the usual procedure where you only have few people coming together and then they establish a constitution, then you take it to the bulk of the population for a referendum for them to answer either yes or no. So because it is a people-centered constitution, therefore we are given the task to consult the people. A couple of weeks ago, we have gone to the district headquarter towns of Sierra Leone. And then after that, now we are in Freetown, that Western Urban, at world level, consulting the people in terms of their own feelings, what we want to reflect in the Constitution. Now,
in the Western area, Mr. Tula, one of the things or the issues coming up very clearly, almost every community you've gone so far, is there isn't a clear-cut mandate of what should be the responsibility or responsibilities of the tribal heads and the village heads. That keeps on coming.
Well, we arrange it in such a way that we gave opportunity to all walks of life to make their contributions. We consulted the tribal authorities in Freetown. In fact, before this current consultation, we as a subcommittee had already initially met the tribal authorities at the PPRC office, for which they embraced, the idea of involving them in the constitution, review process. Then we have consulted all the other stakeholders, including bike riders, market women. All of them are actively involved. They send their representatives, because we cannot involve everybody, every market stakeholder, to be part of the process itself. But they send in their representatives. We have students, we have councillors, we even have members of parliament who are representing their constituencies.
Okay, now apart from the issue of the tribal heads and the village heads, let us know some of the views that are coming. The most common ones, those that people keep on saying about we want this to be included in the reviewed constitution. What are some of the common things that are coming up on a daily basis once you are on consultation?
Yeah, Sheku, so many
I know there are many, but there are common things that are coming.
You will become surprised, when you see ordinary citizens making their contributions. you tend to realize that indeed people are aware in terms of their political, governance of the country. We have issues like the activities of parliament. We keep on getting recommendations from those participants that they would want a process, especially the legislative committee, that they would want a process as a way of the people trying to control members of parliament. That is, they would want to see the addition of the recall clause in the constitution of Sierra Leone, where the people will be given the mandate. If a member of parliament is not performing well in a constituency, they will be given the task to make a petition to the Speaker of the House so as to recall their member of parliament, even when the elections are not in progress, or even when the election is far off, the term of office of the member of parliament. We also have a situation where people are asking for a reduction of, the powers of either the judicial or the executive arm of government. So all of these suggestions are coming up.
What about of the clause in the country's constitution that is talking about that is giving the party, a political party, hold, over a member of parliament? Once the member of parliament is, probably goes against the party's ideology or whatever, the party has the right to kind of call for the withdrawal of that member of parliament from the house.
Well,
is that also coming up?
Well, of course, we had people who are arguing those points, that they would want to assume that power as an electorate and not the political party, because the political party is also operating under the whims and caprices of the electorate. It is the people that form up a political party, and therefore all power must belong to the people, instead of a few clique of members belonging to a political party taking decisions for themselves, determining who is to be offered a symbol. This time round, they would want to have an active participation in terms of offering of symbols by political parties, and even to recall their members of parliament if they are non-functioning.
So also, you being a member of the legislative, committee, which you are directly talking about parliamentary matters, how our parliament should be. Now, a situation where, let's say, for example, like you've mentioned, if the member of parliament from a particular constituency doesn't perform to expectation, the electorate must have the powers to ask, to suggest to the Speaker of the House, but this man no longer has our blessings, so he must be asked out. Now, do you think it's something that will be easily achieved?
Well, these are recommendations coming up from the people. We are soliciting their views, and let me remind you that there is the subcommittee, the CRC committee, which always organize a plenary session in terms of discussing the findings of the recommendations which the people have submitted regarding the constitution. Let me tell you, it is not everything that the people are going to make as suggestions that will be reflected in the constitution, because otherwise we might come up with a bulky document.
Yes, I know, but this one.
But we have to discuss them in detail.
This one, Mr. Tola, they say sovereignty belongs to the people.
Exactly.
The electorate,
yes.
Power belongs to them as well.
Yeah.
Now, they are the ones who voted for someone to become a member of parliament.
Yes. Yes.
And when some of these guys, are going in or vying for parliamentary seats, all the promises that people want to hear, they will say. And once they are there, it's a different ball game.
Yes,
now, the people have said, okay, you said when you go to parliament, you are going to do ABC and D, but the way things are going, you're not living up to expectations. So we don't want you to occupy that seat on our behalf.
Yeah.
And so therefore, we are now going to suggest to parliament to ask you out, and that is not included in the reviewed constitution. And now, like you rightly said, there's going to be a referendum.
Yes.
And the power belongs to the people. What if there's, okay, because of A, B, C, and C, that we said, we are not seeing it in this constitution. So when we go to the referendum, we are going to vote against it. There is a possibility of that happening.
Yeah, there is a possibility, because already it is like that motion is carrying majority of the people's view. We went to Kailaun, the same idea came up. We went to Kenima. even in Freetown here, the same opinion is, cropping up in terms of giving the people the power to recall their members of parliament. So if at the end of the day, the plenary session of the CRC is to see that the bulk of the opinions coming regarding the recall clause in the constitution, then we have no alternative but to include it in the constitution, and then we give to the people. If they approve of it, then so be it. It becomes a law.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Tula. Well, Gabriel Jibril Tula. Well, Mr. Tula is actually representing of the legislative subcommittee of the CRC, that is the Constitutional Review Committee. The program you're watching is Good Morning Sierra Leone. Well, if you want to be part of the program, you can send your text to the number 077 44478. The number again is 077 44478. Let us now go to the United Artists of Salone, UK. It is a charity group based in England. Through the promotion of arts and cultural events, it is dedicated to raising funds to help with providing necessary equipment for the Kissi Psychiatric Hospital. Well, the group has its origin from the 1980s. Well, to know more about the activities of the United Artists of Sierra Leone in the UK, I have here in the studios the treasurer of the group, and he is Kelly Kamara. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, you have plans to raise funds to help give some facelift to the Kissi Psychiatric Home. Now, tell us, how is this going?
Well, thank you so far for having me here in the studio. First of all, I would like to express our condolences to all Sierra Leoneans who have lost their lives during the families, especially. So families of Sierra Leoneans who have lost their lives during the Ebola crisis. May the souls of the faithfully departed rest in peace. So far, well, we reorganized again in 2012, and since then we've been supporting the only psychiatric hospital in the country, Kissi Mental Home. In 2012, we bought a water pump for the generator that wasn't working, and that cost us over £1,000. And in 2013, we bought some mattresses, beds, and we did a facelift in the occupational therapy department. We bought shegures and TV and video set, which are all functioning. And currently, we're here to make a massive donation. Last year event, we raised about 10,000. We've got £10,210, 50p, which will be donated on Wednesday, the 25th of June. So we've got, regarding that, we've already bought 120 mattresses. So hopefully by Wednesday night, every patient in the hospital will be sleeping in a new mattresses, pillows. We've got a DVD. We've got 3 laptops and a desktop, and all other sundry items. Definitely on Wednesday, we'll be doing this major contribution to this institution, and all pressmen, whatever institution, you're all invited to come and support us and come and see this happening. The donations will be the total value of the donations will be £10,210, 50p.
But now, at the Kissi Psychiatric Hospital, one of the major challenges that they're having is personnel.
Yes.
I don't know, probably because that aspect of medicine is not that lucrative.
Yeah.
There isn't much. We don't see much, Sierra Leoneans going in for that. That is why, in fact, Dr. Nahim, has been the only consultant psychiatrist in this country for a very, very long time. And now he's getting, he's now an old man. Yes. And then by now, he's supposed to retire, but he's still around, giving his own support. But then back in the UK, I know we have medical students, right? Who are pursuing medicine. Are there any ways you can try to kind of, engage them?
Well, we're working on that aspect. I did speak with Dr. Naim a few days ago, and he told me that the current government has sent some medical students to, I think, Kenya or Uganda, I'm not too sure, and they should be back in 2 or 3 years' time. So that is hope. Regarding medical psychiatrists or medical personnel in the UK, we're trying to link up with one of the institutions there. Well, plans are at the preliminary stage, but we hope that we can be able to get consultants to come and support the institution on a monthly basis, even if for a few weeks, And we've got members in our organization who are psychiatric nurses as well, who are willing to offer their time and support. I'm part of that team. I'm currently working in the mental health profession. I've been a psychiatric nurse for over 15, 16 years now, and I'm currently managing a team in the community. So it's like I've got a vast knowledge in psychiatry and in mental health issues, and that is one of the key issues I'm very, very passionate about, and I would like to see that improve in our beloved country.
Now, having a background in psychiatry, have you ever been to the Kisii Mental Hospital to kind of volunteer? Have you ever done that?
Well, the role I'm doing is more than volunteering, because the past 3 years we've been doing so much. The last year I was involved in distributing the food parcels, helping out in giving things to the clients.
That is not what I'm saying, Mr. Kamara. I'm talking about you being, a psychiatric nurse. You understand? You have knowledge in psychiatry.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to the hospital, like for example, involving, let's say for example, therapy?
Yeah. Well, because of my tight schedule, I've not been able to do that personally, but in a way I've been there speaking to the staff, empowering them, giving them encouragement, because I believe recovery needs hope. And the personnel, they are empowering them. They are working in very, very difficult conditions. Patients are still being changed. And I can understand the reason for that, based on the fact that there is not enough security, because the protection of the staff is quite important. But if the patients are let loose, they are not under proper control, things may go bad. And if we don't have people working there, how can we improve the situation? And especially when psychiatry in this part of the world, and especially in Sierra Leone, once someone said there's no hope, people believe that once you're affected with mental health, your life is doomed. And we can only move things forward. For me, I personally believe there is no health without mental health, because if your mental health is gone, then everything is finished as far as that individual is concerned. But we are here as an organization to give them hope and to empower the staff who are there, which I've done in so many cases. Whenever I'm there, whenever I go there, I talk to the OT and see what, that's part of encouraging people, and that's part of development as well. Somebody knowing that we as an organization, we are concerned and we are keeping an eye on things. And even talking to Dr. Naim, giving me information about areas that he thinks they need development on. I think that's quite helpful and supportive. And I'm keeping a close eye on the institution. I've taken a whole week off coming here just to support this organization and to support the Kisii Mental Home. I bought my own ticket as well from my own personal pocket. I'm not here on a holiday. I'm here to promote the Kisii Mental Home, to raise awareness, so other important personalities and organizations in the country can keep a close eye. I've already spoken to the First Lady as she is on board with our project. So we'll be meeting, I'll be meeting her this afternoon at 2:30. So
what's the motivation behind this, Mr. Kamara? What's the motivation? It is because you are a psychiatrist, you are a psychiatrist. Is that the reason? Or
well, there's both. I can say personal and as an organization. Most of the members in the organization came from the local population in Kisii. We've got members all over, so that's one. And two, well, for me, I've got my cousin suffers from mental illness and he's at home, he's here. He's not been properly looked after. And three, I'm in the profession.
Okay.
And four, I know things can only get better, and working as a team can make a change. I cannot do things on my own, but with my organization, we can do so much. And with your support as a journalist, with people in other institutions, yes, we can ensure mental health is as important as physical health, as far as I'm concerned. If you look at current situation going on, where we've just gone through a rabid war, and a lot of trauma, a lot of people in the community have gone through trauma. And look at the Ebola crisis as well. A lot of families have lost their loved ones, and they are going through a lot of stress, depression, and so what. So the government cannot do things on their own. And as a community, mental health, we need to take it very seriously. It affects 1 in 4 in every community, regardless of race, culture, or whatever. And that's like 25% of the population suffers from mental illness at some point in their life. And that's a very, very important statistic. That as a nation, people need to know about these things, and people need to take it seriously. And the government needs to keep a close eye in monitoring and supporting these facilities.
Okay.
Once more, I'd like to acknowledge and support and give round of applause to Dr. Naim. He's done a tremendous job for our country, and we still need to improve that facility. We still need to encourage medical students to know and should. Mental health pays. Mental health pays. Dr. Naim had made a good future out of it, a career out of it. And
thank you so much. Mental health pays. This is according to Kali Kamara, the treasurer of the United Artists of Sierra Leone in the United Kingdom. And the program you're watching is Good Morning Sierra Leone. Now, from mental health, we go to environmental sanitation. In order to help enhance the environmental sanitation in the country, members of the non-governmental organization called White Angels have been seen cleaning markets, hospitals, schools, and streets within the city. Well, in the studios is the Chief Executive Officer of White Angels, and he is retired Lieutenant Colonel Idris Kamara. Good morning and welcome to our program.
Good morning, sir, and thank you.
Now, when the name Idris Kamara is called, it rings a bell. But then we'll come to that later. Just give us a brief background to White Angels.
White Angel, we are patriots and volunteers bound with the belief that sanitation and hygiene could be used as an effective weapon against deadly viruses and bacteria that have been killing our people in Sierra Leone. For example, the Ebola virus right now, cholera, malaria, and other viruses that have for a long time been killing our people. So that's our belief. And that if every Sierra Leonean cleans a square meter that he or she occupies, Sierra Leone will be one of the cleanest cities on earth. And as you may know, I was the architect of the Cleaning Saturday that we had in this country maybe over 20 years ago. And I was there at Bo as the Secretary of State Southern Province, and today I'll proudly say Bo is one of the cleanest cities in Sierra Leone, and that's my legacy.
Okay, now, although I wanted to keep that for, as time goes by, but now, you formed of the White Angel, owing to the belief that we must have a clean city. Dating back your activities, in the 90s, as Secretary of State South. And now you can probably say Bo is the one of, if not the cleanest city in this country. Now tell us, you've been around Freetown, markets, you've been to hospitals, you've been to public places, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Sanitation, doing cleaning. Now tell us, how are you seeing things? Do you think you are succeeding?
Well, so far, yeah, because the youth and the market women who are the stakeholders of the market are really buying into the concept that hygiene and sanitation is an effective weapon against deadly viruses and bacteria. When I arrived in Freetown from the ferry, I was really, really disturbed. Urination, the stench. It's like, it's killing. And we thank God now for the rains. And public urination is like order of the day. I've seen over 40 men, full-grown men, will point anywhere they think it's convenient. These are some of the challenges. And even like 2 days ago, I was taught a new concept. They call it cargo, wherein people will do excreta into plastic bag and toss them into the street. I was on my way to the stadium jogging, and I saw over 5 of those type of plastic bag with excreta in them. So we really have serious sanitation and hygiene problem in this country.
And the thing is that now you've started, you are collaborating with the Ministry of Health and Sanitation, which is the body that is actually supposed to be championing some of these stuff that you're talking about. Now let us talk about sustainability. Is this going to be just a one-off thing, or it is something that you are going to continue?
I've started a dialogue in the form of sanitation and hygiene. And I know the people are listening, and we've started this conversation. And one ideology which I am going to employ, and I'll be employing that, will be forming White Angel Sanitation
and hygiene clubs in the various schools. For us that are in the 40s and in the 50s, it's a lot of challenge. That is the truth. So now we are targeting the young ones. If we can inject in the very schools the ideology that sanitation and hygiene is an effective weapon that we can use against deadly viruses and bacteria.
So in other words, you're saying, Colonel, that it has been endemic in this society.
It is. I am really, with no regret, I'm saying that it is. You walk along the road, people will just dump things. I live right there on Old Railway Line. Most of the time, I jog, and right there at the St. John Bridge, I will see 3, 4, 5 people dumping trash right over the bridge. And where does these things end up? The sea. Gutters have been clogged up. You see plastic bottles all over the place. People urinate all over the place. And one thing that is very unbearable, the stench, urination, and nasty smells. I mean, I'm sorry I sound this way, but that is the truth. We have to change that culture. We have to. Or else we are killing ourselves gradually. Now is Ebola. You never know what will come next.
So Mr. Kamara, now let's talk about you now, because like you said, over the weeks, you've been partnering with the Ministry of Health and Sanitation. Now, are you getting the support that you actually need from the Ministry of Health and Sanitation in this campaign?
Oh yes, I would say that, and I want to thank especially the Deputy Minister, Honorable Madina Rahman. When I came here initially, my desire was to clean schools and marketplace. But after my first successful cleaning of the Crouton Road Market, she teamed up with me for the Bombay Street Market. And then she turned around and said, you know what, I want you to clean Connaught Hospital. I said, whoa, now we are talking about biohazard. And I don't have the equipment and the logistic and the protective gears for my people. And indeed, she provided them. And God bless her. She provided for me all the logistic that we needed to clean Connaught Hospital. And then we said, hey, wait a minute, if we can clean Connaught Hospital, how about Cottage? And we took on Cottage. And then some community members, stakeholders of the Fire Mambo community in the Waterloo area, where I was trained as a second lieutenant, came to me and they said, sir, our dam is being overrun by a lot of filth and dirt. And we went there, we dug it out. And the Honorable Minister of Water, Maligi, is a nice guy. A guy who is ready to really bring water into this country. He helped us. He sent engineers there and we work hand in glove. And as I'm talking, he's now working on putting a solar powered borehole there for the community whilst we'll be reconstructing the dam.
Okay, thank you so much. And he is Lieutenant Colonel retired Idris Kamara, the Chief Executive Officer of White Angels, where they've been cleaning public places in the capital. But then the question again is, are you just going to limit your activities to the western area, or there are plans to move up country?
I do have plans, and I've established chapters all over the place. I have a coordinator that controls a chapter right there in Pujeon, and the chapter is like 100 men strong, men and women. And for every chapter, we have a coordinator that is a woman and a coordinator that is a man. Upon the availability of resources, we'll take it nationwide. But for now, finances is really a big challenge.
Okay, thank you so much. The CEO of the White Angels organization, and he is retired Lieutenant Colonel Idris Kamara. The program you are watching is Good Morning Sierra Leone, where we take a short break as we bring you the soundtrack titled Stupid Love, done for us by Justin Derulo.
An act of love. in my neighborhood. Said I never would. For you. Ooh. I got drunk on a Monday night. Hope it looks alright. Tattoo of you. Ooh. I'm a yes man on the loose. Yeah. Maxed out on my credit cards. Bought your favorite car. Times 2. I'm crazy for you. Who knows what I do? I'd even die for you. Whatever you need, I'm down on my knees. I guess that means I'm done. I'm through being loved.
Breaking news story.
Redecorate my crib, can't believe I did. It's true, ooh. I'm ashamed, but I said okay to share a Facebook page with you, ooh. 'Cause I'm a yes man on the loose, ooh, yeah. And I'll do anything for you, baby. I'm crazy for you, who knows what I do? I'd even die for you. Whatever you need, I'm down on my knees. I guess that means I'm done. I'm through being loved. Yeah. Stupid. I'm through being loved. Yeah. Stupid. They can all call me crazy. I'm a fool for you, baby. But they ain't never seen you naked. They can all call me crazy. I'm a fool for you, baby. But they ain't never seen you naked. I'm crazy for you. Who knows what I do? I'd even die for you. Whatever you need, I'm down on my knees. I guess that means I'm done.
Robbers broke inside this home right here, but what they did not know is that a husband and wife would be returning home early. Well, the husband tried to protect his wife from the gunman, got into a scuffle, and police say that he was shot not once, but twice in the heart.
Well, just sing the Rulo, the soundtrack titled Stupid Love. Well, as we are about to go, and I go again to Jibril Tula from of the Constitutional Review Committee. Now, Mr. Tula, you have to be very brief. How are you really working with time? Are we assured of that you are going to do your work within the time frame, within the stipulated time frame?
Sheku, I want you to trust in the commission. We have an effective executive secretary, Samuel O.J. Koka, and even the staff members of the CRC, including the chairman, and even members of the plenary, the members of the committee itself. All of them are effectively participating in terms of, trying to meet up the set target of this constitution. Trust the commission. We have the tendency, we have the capacity, and we have the ability to meet up the set tasks for this constitution. And it's going to be a liberal constitution as the president would want it. That is the people's, voice to be heard in that constitution. Okay, and it's going to be written in a very simple language. Okay, this time around it's not
so much. I'm Jibril Tula, a member of the legislative committee of the CRC, that is the Constitutional Review Committee. Now, Kelly Kamara from the United Artists for Salon in the UK. Quickly, what do you want to leave with the viewers with regards, mental health, support to mental health in this country?
Yes, I just want the community to know that mental health, there is no health without mental health. And I want to inform everybody that on Wednesday, the 25th of June, we'll be at the Kisii Psychiatric Hospital doing our presentations. The value of our donation will be worth about 75 million yuns.
Okay.
And I want to inform everybody that I'm here with the chairman, Mr. Alhaji Ba, who is here with me to ensure that we do this safely and in the best interest of our country.
Okay.
And once more, I just want to say we have a very large membership and we still want people to join us.
Okay.
We are open as long as you are in support of the mental health. There is no payment as yet, but together we can make a change.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. He's the treasurer of the United Artists and for Salon in the United Kingdom, where they've come to donate to the Kisi Psychiatric Hospital. Thank you so much, Mr. Kamara, for your support. Well, quickly, White Angels, Colonel Idris Kamara, environmental sanitation. What do you want to live with, especially those who don't want to, who just believe that they will continue to litter the streets with filth?
Well, they have to stop. They have to stop because you're killing the whole nation by doing that. Okay. And you're putting a lot of burden on the mega resources that our city council have. At this point in time, I want to thank Mr. Parker, the city council and the mayor for all the support, and also my wife, who also left United States and she's here now. Okay. As a replacement of me. And also all my White Angels there, especially Siki George, who is the chairman. Okay. I want to thank you guys, and I'm asking all Sierra Leoneans to continue to support White Angels. We'll be cleaning golf courts. Golf courts will be our next target.
Yeah, that will be great.
In about a week.
Okay.
Golf courts.
Okay, thank you so much. That is how we say goodbye.